No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, good morning. How we doing, Bronco Nation? Welcome on into a live Friday edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at RowPaint.com. We're presented by our title sponsor, Andy Rowe and Rowe Painting. We appreciate them for their support. Make sure you check them out, all your painting needs at RowPaint.com. We are, as the graphic now shows, in the Western Collective Studios as well. They'll be having that watch party tomorrow. So anybody that's not heading to San Jose for the game, head on over to Garden City, the brewery there, and check out Western Collective. Carrie and company moved some new TVs around over there, and we'll have food and drink, and going to be a lot of fun. They got some discounted prices on the Horseshoe Golden Ale, and Tony Hildy, the quarterback that we had on a couple weeks ago from the 94 team, will be hanging out as the guest road game captain. So head on over to the Horseshoe Golden Ale watch party, the Horseshoe Collective watch party, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, over at Western Collective Brewery there in Garden City. As you can see, it's Friday. That means we got our man Jay Tust, sports director, KTVB, joining us. Jay, I know we're both flying out today. Both have busy days, but appreciate you carving a few minutes here for BNN Live. How we doing?
Good, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little tired. End of the week, getting near the end of football season. This is just kind of where it seems like the day just kind of drags on. Happy birthday, BJ.
We can move on to the next topic. Thank you.
Go ahead, fill the comments, everybody. Wish BJ a happy birthday.
Got to give my kids a hug and talk to them, and they sang for me before school today. So that was my parents called and sang to me as well. So, yeah, it's been a great start to the birthday. As you know, Jay, and everybody else knows, when you get to this age, it's pretty much a normal day, unfortunately. I got about 10 things to do. I got a story still to write and all this, and then fly out today. But it's luckily I got one more. I'm not quite at your I haven't quite hit the big one yet, so I got one more year. So
whoever types out "Happy Birthday" the song to BJ transcribes the whole thing using BJ in the chat. BJ's got some gift card he's going to give you or something like that.
No, I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you, guys. Alexandra said the big one is at 21. No, it's not 21, unfortunately. I can only wish for that. But no, 39 bills today. So we got one more year to enjoy before I officially feel but I'm already feeling old. Once you hit, I don't know what number it was for you, but once you hit 36, then you're closer to 40. Then 37, really getting closer to 40. And
as long as you're in your 30s, you're fine. Once you tip over to 40, it feels you feel it a little bit. So
I remember Jay Tust surprise 30th, I believe it was.
It was 1 million years ago. Gosh, you look back, dude. You look back at some of those pictures, and it feels like it was like a million years ago. I'm not gonna lie.
John Mallory looks like he's about 10 in a couple of the pictures at your 30th party.
Yep.
Thank you, Jay, for bringing that up. Appreciate the kind words. It was, like I said, good to see the family this morning, and I'll see them on Sunday after the Clemson game at some point. Just how it goes this time of year, as you said, and I'm trying, Jay. I'm going to see if I can do it. Take a skeleton set of equipment. Now, I'm always paranoid, so I always bring stuff that like three things of everything in case something breaks, as I'm sure you guys do. But I may tone that down a little bit, which means something will go wrong on Saturday. But my goal is to see if I can avoid a checked bag maybe and save 15 minutes on Sunday when I get back in Boise and can get to the Clemson game a little bit earlier if I'm not waiting for my big trunk of equipment. So we'll see. I may pack lighter than I usually do in terms of the clothes and stuff as well on this one and try to squeeze it in. We all can't get the priority or the pre-board seating perfect seats like Jay Tust,
Oh, my travel accommodations are what they are. Let's just say that. That is one thing I have. That is a loophole I have found. As media.
I absolutely think I'm not going to say what it is or how you do it. I'll keep that. I'm not going to out you, but you do have an amazing way of, and I feel like I'm usually the one that does stuff like that. So the fact that you figured that out and I've seen it in action on the road to get premier seating is pretty impressive. But
yeah,
not happy by the way. Southwest is switching to reserve seating next year.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Wow.
Southwest Airlines is switching to reserved seating.
What happened?
I don't know. They realized that I guess they did a survey and people actually complained about not knowing where they're sitting. I thought that was the best part of Southwest.
Kind of
more in the front that you have a little more legroom that you can pay more for. Not exactly first class, but a little more legroom.
Interesting, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure people really want to hear us talk about our travel.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll really hear me complain next week when I'm complaining about flying all the way to the Cayman Islands. I'm sure that'll go over well. And you'll be in Laramie, Wyoming when it's snowing. Although we got a tropical storm heading to the Cayman Islands, so that could be fun. You're right though, Jay. It is just one of those Fridays, and I hate to say it, but it's the fact like it's San Jose State. Like it's not exactly the sexiest, most exciting, whatever game of all time either. When you think about just, getting on a plane, heading to San Jose, it's like, but it doesn't, you hope that's not going to be the case for the team. I mean, they're probably, they're waking up out of bed feeling more sore and tired than we are, Jay. And it's the same kind of thing though. I mean, in a sense, and them just trying to power through, and they call it in baseball kind of the dog days of August, where it's just, you're not quite at that finish line yet. And you got a couple games left and you got to get to that final playoff push. And I don't think they're, this is kind of that game, and maybe even next week at Wyoming too, where it's just everyone's putting you in the rankings and putting you in all this praise and Mountain West Championship and all this, and you got to keep winning, man. They lose a game, it's all done. I don't even think that if they lose a game, they're, I guess because they have the tiebreaker over UNLV, I guess they'd still get in the championship game, but they necessarily be guaranteed to host if Colorado State were to win out. I still think it's highest ranked team. So I think even if Boise State had a loss in conference and Colorado State was undefeated, Boise State might still get to host. But regardless, they'd probably be done for the CFP unless some crazy stuff happened with Army or whoever else. So regardless, it's just one of those weekends again, Jay, where I know the style points would be nice. You'd love to go down there and find a way to win by 30 and have Ashton go over 300 and make this look like some, marquee, impressive victory. But it really, the goal is to go down there this weekend and get one more point than San Jose.
Completely agree. November football, man, it is simply just win mode. And I'm not saying that they can't go down and win this thing comfortably or anything like that, But as we experienced last week on the Blue, November, it's tough to win in November. And the big reason why is everybody's banged up, and you're so close to that dangling, carrot at the end of the stick, right? That is the college football playoff or the Mountain West Conference Championship game. And you just can't reach for it too early. So, November football really is just win. Just win, baby. That's all you got to do right now, in my opinion.
There's been a ton of talk about Nash and some of the things, and I get it. Like, you have to try to hype up every opponent you can. You obviously, from a coach's perspective, it's, every team you're playing is undefeated Oregon, basically, in terms of what they can do. And on paper, yeah, it's a little scary what Nash can do, what this defense can do. But are we, I kind of asked this to Johnny yesterday, but are we maybe making too much of this? There's San Jose State. They don't have necessarily a great win. You look at who they've played, like they're undefeated at home. Like, yeah, look at who they've played at home. Like, are we right to hype them up, or is this game going to be again, 45-14 on Saturday, and we're going to say we should have seen this coming?
I don't know if it's going to be 45-14. I think that San Jose State will be able to move the ball a little bit. Nick Nash is going to get some catches. Like, that just is what it is. Like, he's going to get his catches. You just hope to limit him a little bit. And more than anything, limit him after the catch, and you'll be okay, in my opinion. I don't know, man. I saw San Jose State play my alma mater a little bit earlier this year on the Palouse, and they gave the Cougs everything that the Cougs could possibly handle. Washington State barely pulled that one out at the end. Took a heroic effort from John Mateer and the boys in order to get a victory. And if that weren't the case, man, like, if San Jose State holds on there, they really epic little comeback at the end to force overtime and stuff. But if they'd be a 7-win team right now, man.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something earlier this week that said they're the only bowl eligible, or the first bowl eligible team in the state of California this year.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
I always liked Ken Niumatalolo at Navy, and I wasn't sure how it was going to translate over. And obviously those coaches that, have the triple option and then never, go away from him. Troy Calhoun has always said if he left Air Force to go somewhere else, he would not run the triple option. Like, he only runs it because he has to with the service academies. And I asked Dirk Cutter about it, like, as someone that's coached one way, like, your entire life, like, if you had to just change it. And I know Ken Niumatalolo is not necessarily the offensive coordinator, so to speak, but you're the head coach and you're very involved, and you've been the head coach of a team for 15 plus years that's run the triple option and thrown 2-3 passes a game. And now they're slinging it all over the field and top 5 in the country in passing. Like, Ken Niumatalolo has got to be going, man, this was a lot of fun. I should have done this 10 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny, man, how drastically different the styles are. When he was at Navy, yeah, they run the triple option, and then he comes over to San Jose State, and like, we're talking with him at Mountain West Media Days, and I almost don't even want to believe him, because I'm like, well, you can't just go to some pass happy attack after running the triple option. And no, they're averaging almost 42 pass attempts a game. It's top 10 in the country this year. So, they're very different than, or I guess, Ken's style is very different offensively than what it was at Navy. Good guy. I remember one thing about Mountain West Media Days too with him is that he was really, really pushing the fact that he was going to give his offensive and defensive coordinator some autonomy. And that sounds a lot like Spencer Danielson, where you just kind of hover around and, offer your advice wherever and whenever it's needed. But you try to let your coaches do their own thing. And I know that was one thing that he really wanted to emphasize when he took over at San Jose State. But I got to say, that was a kind of a splashy hire for San Jose State after they lost Brent Brennan to Arizona. The Wildcats struggling a little bit. I thought the world of Brent Brennan. I do think he'll eventually get it going there, but that was kind of a little bit of a splashy hire after, so many coaches in the Mountain West left. You look at San Jose State, they had Ken Niumatalolo, and then, even in New Mexico, going and getting Bronco Mendenhall was pretty big.
And I remember, like, at Mountain West Media Days talking to Ken Niumatalolo and just feeling really bad for him. Like, man, you had all the success in Navy, and this is the job you took, San Jose State. Like, man. And then, like you said, you look up, what are they, 6-3 or whatever it is? And you can look at the wins. They don't have necessarily a ton of impressive quote unquote wins, but in year one, he's taken San Jose State to a bowl game. And I know they had some success with Brent Brennan. Like, the program was in a, semi-healthy spot. It's not been some of the horrible years it's been where they've been winless or whatever in previous years, but it's San Jose State, and it just seems like over time that's a tough place to win there. And what Brent Brennan has done getting that thing going, I know they've had some coaches there, but again, I mean, it's just in the Bay Area, no one really cares. It's not going to be a big crowd. I don't know. I just don't look and go, what are the best jobs in the Mountain West, and point right to San Jose State. I just don't. The facilities aren't great there. I know they have the new, they've upgraded the facilities, but they're still not great. The stadium's still not great. And again, he's doing a heck of a job there. So but what do you make of, and I asked this yesterday, it's kind of a nerdy football question. I know you just can't do this, but I'm not going to lie, man. When I heard Amarian McCoy say, when somebody asked him about guarding Nick Nash, and again, you and me, I think, understood this. Some others maybe didn't, that they're, it's just a little different style of offense, and Nick Nash not necessarily at all the same kind of receiver as a Jalen Royal or a Ricky White, just in terms of being the guy on the outside and the burner and doing everything. And they're just different styles. And I mean, Ricky White's got like 50 something catches this year. I mean, they're just not exactly the same type of receiver at all. But he plays in the slot, and there was some thought, okay, well, Amarian McCoy is just going to do this again and shut him down, and that'll be that. And then when you find out he plays in the slot more, and we're talking to McCoy, somebody's like, hey, you ready to take it? Do you want this challenge? And he's like, no, our safety's got this. They're going to be good. And I'm like, not going to lie, man. You think, okay, this pass defense at times has struggled. And now you're putting safeties who, again, safeties are not primarily in coverage as much as corners. It's not a shot at the safeties. It's just they're not in coverage a ton. And there's a reason for that at times. I mean, corners, that's all they do, guard guys. Like, would you rather have Amarian McCoy guarding him in a perfect world? Yes. But the way the Boise State defense is set up, whatever, like you move a guy into the slot, that changes things. How do you feel about Ty Benefield, whoever else, having to try to guard Nick Nash tomorrow?
It's interesting because with the loss of Alexander Teubner, well, I don't even know. We think at least.
I mean, we're not trying to hide stuff. We don't officially know. No one, maybe you do. No one's 100% told me he's out. They've probably told you. I don't know, but I would, based on what I've heard this week, what we saw. I mean, you're not in a huge brace and crutches standing on the field after a game and likely playing 7 days later. Just being honest.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like they're gonna have to figure out life without him right now, and so and that's not necessarily like a long-term thing. I'm definitely not trying to imply that because I don't know, but without him, if that's the case, I think you're going to see how versatile he is and how much he meant to the defense. And Boise State, if he's not there, is going to have to mix things up. And so I guess what I mean by that is I think you might have some guys doing things that they typically haven't done all year this season. And so what does that look like? I don't know. I'm really, really excited to see. Like Ty Benefield played, a very similar role to what Alexander played last year when he was a true freshman at times. And so he's a guy that, I mean, he can handle whatever you throw at him, in my opinion. So it'll just be interesting to see the approach, who wears the green dot, how they decide to cover Nick Nash. It certainly doesn't mean that Amarian McCoy can't bump inside if, depending on how things are going and cover the slot.
Stockton basically admitted if it's not going well, we have backup plans.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll just kind of have to see, but there's going to be, there'll be some pressure on Boise State's defense to adapt and adjust, maybe on the fly in game, in order to make sure they're doing their thing. And they were, knock on wood, relatively healthy, and so now this is kind of the first big piece of the defense that they're going to have to live without for maybe a game or so.
Cameron says that's a Nichols' job to cover the slot guy up. I understand that, but in his own words, he said safeties was what Amarian McCoy said, and a lot of the safeties, Nichols, those guys, all kind of Boise State's defense, hybrid guys that move around. So I never know what to call. So I mean, we asked Alexander Teubner jokingly, like, "What position do you play? What do we call you?" Like, they have 4 of these guys. Oladipo. You mentioned Benefield. A lot of these guys move around.
They're very versatile
at times. Like, I mean, safeties, nickels, dimes, like all this. They just have a bunch of defensive backs back there that do a lot of different things.
I mean, in a nutshell, yeah. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see the approach. But I literally think everything's on the table. Like everything's on the table. Like even I'm guessing like they're is a certain level of coyness that is
Oh, sure.
being
They're not going to come out and give their name.
portrayed this week. So
Yep.
excited to see what that
I
looks
guess
like on
Bronco
game day.
Nation Updates has the answer that you should just go down and tell this to the coaching staff, I guess. Just jam Nash at the line. Should work out.
There it is. Shut him down.
Yep.
Don't let him off the line of scrimmage.
That should be that seems like that's great. Tube's great overall. Hasn't been the best in pass coverage. Shouldn't be much of a fall off.
Dude, no. I'm not having that slander for Tubes anymore, guys. Like I'm not doing it. Like you're so wrong on that. Like he is so important to this defense and playing such good football. And
Callahan told me
I can
a couple times that Michael Callahan, who's again been around here for 6 years, like flat out told me like we can't do half the play calls we do. We can't do half the stuff we do without a guy like Alexander Teubner who can move around every play, do different stuff. And you're not even talking about the off the, the non-scheme type stuff with his leadership and wearing the green dot and what he can run up to the line and tell defensive players like
this guy took time in the offseason to learn the entire defensive front so he can run up there and set it at a moment's notice when Eric Chenander, gets in his ear and says something. So I'm going to put my foot down on that. I can't take that slander for Alexander Teubner because he's playing phenomenal football.
And 8 out of 10 times, I know last year you got a lot of criticism for it, but 8 out of 10 times when Alexander Teubner is running with a defensive back and the guy looks open and the guy makes the catch, that's not Alexander Teubner or the safety's fault.
It can look like there are times where it looks like he's not perfect. I'm not saying that either. Like, and I know you're not either, BJ, but like there are times where it looks like somebody's getting beat and it's somebody else that forgot to maintain leverage or something like that. And then all of a sudden it looks like Alexander is getting crushed or whatever. But hey, that has rarely happened this year. And look at what happened the both times that he was ejected for targeting. The opponent scored immediately after he left the game. Yep. It was Hawaii's only touchdown of the game. It was one of Oregon's only touchdowns of the game on with their offense on the field. He is incredibly valuable, and I'm sorry. I appreciate the comments. We love the interaction and stuff like that, but I'm letting you know like that he is a really, really good player.
Blake says, feel like Teubner gets put into bad situations because of the other players' mishaps, and then it looks like it's his fault.
That can happen with him. It can. And he's not perfect, no, but like he's to the point where if something goes wrong, like I almost just assume he wasn't. It's like Marco Notriani. The dude is rarely ever in the wrong spot. Like he's always doing the right thing.
I want to spin this forward in terms of this game and the importance and the CFP rankings and just the big picture of this game, and then finish up with basketball here in a second. But I do want to remind folks again about the watch party on Saturday, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If you're not going to San Jose for the game, head on over to Garden City, the Western Collective Brewery there. Pick up the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Tony Hildy, the quarterback from the 94 team, will be there hanging out, some other former players. So if you're looking for a fun spot to watch the game, cheer, have a good time with some Bronco fans, head over to the brewery in Garden City at Western Collective and support the Horseshoe Collective. Our title sponsor, roepaint.com, roepaint.com. Title sponsor, Andy Rowe and Company. Again, those concrete coatings, whether it's for your garage, your back patio, your basement, highly recommend them. They can transform the look of that ugly slab in one day, and they're also great with interior, exterior painting, residential, industrial, commercial. They can do it all. Check out the title sponsor and the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, roepaint.com. Hope you enjoyed the Tyson Degenhardt show last night. We're going to play a clip of that here in a minute when we talk basketball. But Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, with the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out. You go in, you sign up, and you never have to go back because you can do everything right there from the app. You may think you enjoy your banking experience, but I can promise you you'll enjoy it more over at Idaho Central Credit Union. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. Matt Bauscher and his team doing tremendous work. And again, we bought our home, we sold our home using Matt and his team, but it's not just Matt. It's about 5 or 6 people in the picture you see right there. Every step of the way, it's specialized, different folks, Cade, Kelly, Sarah, the whole crew. They're tremendous, and I really appreciate all of them. And again, check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, I was asking for some. We got a voicemail I want to play, Jay. I hope this works, and I hope you can hear it. Signature Roofing voicemail inbox. We're asking for them at speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Signature Roofing voice inbox, and we want your audio thoughts on the team, the rankings, basketball, football, whatever you want. If you don't think you can say it properly in a message in the YouTube chat, you can leave us a voicemail on your phone or your computer, anywhere. You're not actually calling a number. You just record it right there from speakpipe.com/BNN. And again, My Signature Roofing, whether it's re-roofs, inspections, free estimates, repairs, they got you covered. It's a local company, been around for a while, and they do tremendous work. And again, their website is mysignatureroofing.com, and you should check them out. And Jay, we have a nice voicemail today. Give me a thumbs up when it starts playing if you can hear it okay, or else I'll just cut it off. This is from Candid Trader. I believe his name is Austin, chiming in about the CFP rankings.
Hey, BJ. Hey, Bronco Nation. This is something that I think needs to be addressed, and someone from the media needs to take the risk and show courage to call it.
He's not hearing it? Uh-oh. All right, what am I doing wrong here? Why is Jay not hearing that? You should be. Was everybody else hearing that?
Here, you play it and just paraphrase it.
I wonder if I can. No, you need to hear it. I wonder if I can send it to you somehow. Are you on your computer or your phone? Why don't you get the YouTube? Maybe get the YouTube on your. Yeah. Oh no, you have to turn off your camera for a second. How do I do this? Any ideas for anybody on how to get the voicemail to Jay? Everyone else heard it.
Just put it up. I'm gonna turn my camera off for just a second, and I'll join you back here in just a second. Go ahead.
All right, try to go to the YouTube real quick, Jake. Go to the live YouTube here if Jay can do that, and we'll get this queued up in just a second. I'm not sure why the technology is what it is. You never know with this kind of stuff. But Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Check them out. Re-roofs, inspections, installations, estimates. And again, they have an NIL deal with RJ Keene. We'll be bringing you some new content from RJ Keene at Signature Roofing later this week. But again, here is Austin, Candid Trader, coming through from the CFP.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, BJ. Hey, Bronco Nation. This is something that I think needs to be addressed, and someone from the media needs to take the risk and show courage to call a spade a spade. I played football. I was a quarterback. I think I have a little bit of a credential to say something about the topic. Not that that matters a ton, but it shouldn't it be against the rules or illegal / cheating, lying, whatever you want to call it, to have Notre Dame and Miami in front of Boise State in the rankings? Considering if you follow the CFP website's own metrics for their 4 pillars, being number 1, strength of schedule, number 2, head-to-head, number 3, comparative schedule, number 4 being player availability. If you look at the number 1 pillar being strength of schedule, Boise State at the original voting for the CFP was number 59, and Notre Dame's strength of schedule was number 77. Also, Miami's strength of schedule is number 46. But both of those schools have a major unranked loss. Boise State does not have that. There's +1 for Boise State. Boise State's wins are better than Miami's. You can look that up. Not that BJ needs to look that up, but anybody else that disagrees, look that up. And then Notre Dame's best wins are Texas A&M and Navy, which are not better than UNLV and number 18 Wazoo. You could maybe make an argument that those are equal. So it is a mathematical impossibility for Notre Dame or Miami to be ranked ahead of Boise State. Is the CFP blatantly cheating? They are not following the rules that have been set before them, the own criteria that they made. Are they cheating? Hey, BJ. Hey, Bronco Nation. This is something that I think needs to be addressed, and someone from the media needs to take the risk.
I'm going to go that far and say that. Appreciate the call there, Austin. We'll get Jay Tust dialed back in here. But you do look at the college football playoff rankings. Miami, they've been flirting with fire. I mean, guys, let me know what you think about that. Miami's been flirting with fire for a while now. What do you make of Miami? And I forget the other team he said being ranked ahead of Boise State at this. Notre Dame being ranked ahead of Boise State.
If you look at, I believe Miami's strength of schedule is better than Boise State's, according to ESPN's Football Power Index.
Which,
if you want to make a little bit of an argument for Notre Dame, I'm definitely willing to hear that, because they're probably benefiting from being Notre Dame, in all honesty. You lose as a 25-point underdog on your home field, and you're not knocked for that in some way, shape, or form.
Favorite. They were a 25-point favorite.
Sorry. Yes, correct. Well, they lost to the 25-point underdog, I guess is what I meant. So yes, so yeah. I mean, man, I struggle with everybody was saying about Boise State's schedule like a month ago. Oh, you play in the Mountain West, trash schedule, all this stuff. They had barely even started Mountain West play at that point in time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, like, even if that is your opinion, it was a dumb opinion because Mountain West play it had hardly even started yet. So that's my take on that. Boise State's strength of schedule is pretty good. It's better than Colorado's as well.
They've got a win against the number 18 ranked Washington State team or 17, whatever it is now. I mean, you look at some of those. I mean, I'm not even sure. Like, I think Texas's best win is Vanderbilt. Like, I'm not going to try to say Boise State should be ranked ahead of Texas or whoever. Tennessee, I forget who, but like if you want to go off ranked wins, Boise State has a better ranked win right now than Texas does. I mean,
I'm sorry, buddy. I know that your team's in the Big 12. But I really do not think very highly of the Big 12 conference this year, and there's not a team in that league that I would not be extremely confident with Boise State taking the field with this year.
Jay, I think this might have to make the trip to I was getting ready to do a little bit of packing this morning, and this may have to
bring it with. Yeah.
Wear it in the press box, but may have to bring the the jersey along. I mentioned some of the extra. I may bring you. I think I have enough hats. I can bring everybody in the media a KU hat if you want one for Saturday.
Dude, I legit think that I legit think that Kansas has a shot in that game, man. Like I legit think they might go win.
2.5, man. Why is the spread 2.5?
I have no idea. They're baiting everybody into something, but
they're taking BYU because it's going to win.
Right. I think that the Jayhawks, the way they're running the football right now, this is not advice because I would never want anybody to take my advice. But with the way they're running the football right now and the way they've picked up a little bit on offense, I think that we've hit the point where BYU is probably a little overvalued, and I think that in all honesty, Kansas is very undervalued, and we saw that last week for that matter.
Well, I'm getting.
I don't want to get your hype or your hopes up here, my
I know that's what I'm saying. So many people are now picking Kansas or thinking they can win that BYU is probably going to blow them out. But if it wasn't at 8:15, we've been there. We've both been there plenty of times, Jay. Yeah. About those night games at BYU, like it's just going to be a crazy atmosphere. So part of me wishes it was a 2:30 game or something. But the timing works out good. It's the late game, and so right after the Boise State game ends, folks can switch over and watch that. But AP, I guess, is a hater. He says, I would be rooting for Kansas, but for the sake of seeing BJ's alma mater lose, I'm going Cougs. All right. Thanks, AP. Appreciate you there.
Well, I can't disagree with AP.
Yeah. Why is the spread 2.5 then? Again, that's why, I mean, whenever the spread is that low, a lot of times Vegas
thumbs up.
Or there's some reason. You look at those two teams, Jay, and all the scenarios we lay out, an undefeated team ranked number 6 and a team that's 3-6 on the road, whatever, like that spread should be 14 points. I mean, it's
the fact that it would suggest that a 3-6 team and a 9-0 team would basically be a pick 'em on a neutral field. It does, man, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think that there's not a team in the Big 12 that I would not feel very confident with Boise State stepping on the same field with, Colorado included. Like,
I want to get to basketball, and I know we don't have a ton of time today, Jay, but I do want one quick thought on this. Georgia right now is the first team out. You're looking at this bracket right here. This is the updated bracket. We talked about this earlier in the week, but once you came on the ranking, the rankings weren't out on Tuesday yet. But I want to know if Georgia beats Tennessee, what happens? That's what I keep asking. If Georgia beats Tennessee, what happens? Because I believe Indiana, unless they just get blasted 50-3 to Ohio State, I believe Indiana at number 5 is in, as long as they don't get crushed at Ohio State. I think that all those Big Ten teams are safely in the field. So there's 4 there. There's the Boise State or Group of 5. There's the conference champions from the Big 12 and ACC. That only leaves 3 spots left for the at-larges in the SEC. And again, Ole Miss just beat Georgia. So, I mean, is Alabama, who's ahead of Ole Miss right now, going to drop out? Does Tennessee go from 7 all the way out?
Well, Tennessee and Georgia play each other this week, so that might be. Yeah.
If Georgia beats Tennessee, and that's 2 losses for Tennessee, do they drop down below Alabama and Ole Miss and go from 7 all the way out? I mean, a loss to, I guess, what the committee believes is not a playoff team right now. Is that detrimental enough? That maybe what happens. Maybe Tennessee just falls all the way out. But
no,
again,
because hold up though, just a second. Tennessee beat Alabama. So and Tennessee would be 8-2, and Alabama after they kill Mercer this week would be 8-2.
Georgia.
And that's what I mean. So like, who's getting left out? Does all of a sudden the committee start to go, Notre Dame lost to a 25-point underdog on their home field this year. They can't. They literally can't knock Boise State out because the group of 5 is included.
Well, I'm sure they wish they could.
Oh, I bet you they wish they could. But that's where you're right. It gets really, really, really interesting if that's the case, because there's a lot of everybody's gonna have the same record. Everybody beat everybody out of the SEC, and who's the odd team out? That it can't be any of the top 4 right now. So you are looking at if Indiana gets you said, if Indiana gets blasted by Ohio State, you could see them dropping. Outside of that, like, you got to take a look at Notre Dame. It seems to me like if Tennessee were to lose to Georgia, but they've beat Bama, man, I don't know how you figure out who you leave out at that point.
I mean, the fact that they already have Notre Dame ahead of some of those teams, maybe if Georgia were to beat Tennessee, you could say, okay, that's a better win. We're moving Georgia ahead of Notre Dame. But if Notre Dame's already ahead of Alabama and Ole Miss, I don't know how you drop them below them if those teams don't lose again. I am right there with you. I mean, it's crazy. Like, the SEC getting 4 of the 12 teams is, and then the Big Ten getting 4 of the 12. Like, that's 8 of the 12 right there. Like, that's what those 2 conferences want. But you're talking about Eli Drinkwitz saying, "Oh, any 10-win team in the SEC should get in." Whatever. You're not getting 7 spots in this tournament unless they go to 24 teams. Which, you know what? You want to go to 24 teams and do that? I'm fine with that. But the way it's set right now, like, I just don't see how a 5th SEC team can get in. Georgia is going to have to take the spot of another SEC team, and they've all beat each other. I mean, Alabama beat Georgia. I know it was earlier in the season, but I mean, yeah, literally you have that, whatever you call it, the triangular or whatever, where they're all just beating each other, and that's going to make it super hard for this committee to discuss. Like you said, the one easy way would be Notre Dame, but they shouldn't have had them that high to begin with. I don't know how you all of a sudden magically drop them below. Maybe you hope they have a close game against somebody, and you can say they looked bad, and these teams are better now. But I'm not sure how you drop Notre Dame 4 spots if they don't lose. You probably don't.
Imagine a 1-loss Notre Dame being, left out of a what is at the moment a college football playoff bracket hypothetical, because there's still a number of weeks left.
Don't lose.
I mean, true, but like that, it would be wild if it came down to that. And correct me if I'm wrong, BJ, but Notre Dame can't earn a bye.
No, the highest Notre Dame is 5.
Yeah, you have to be a conference champion, so they could host a first round game, but they cannot earn a bye.
Yep.
And by the way, BYU, I mean, being at 3, wild to think, but there's a chance that Boise State could climb as high. If BYU can get to 3, there is a chance that Boise State can get to 3.
Yep. That's why you got to be. We're all Rock
Jayhawk
Chalk
fans. It's true. It is. It's true.
It's I mean, there's a lot of scoreboard watching and things going on, and we'll see what happens with the SMU and Miami in that conference too, because that's now, the Big 12's an avenue, but the ACC suddenly is an avenue too to possibly get that bye.
Yep.
Well, hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. Check them out. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They can help you out. Great grocery store, friendly environment. Love going into Ridley's. And there's 13 locations in the state of Idaho, others in the surrounding states. I highly recommend downloading that Skip app. Save up to 40% off at the checkout line. Snake River Pool and Spa, thespateam.com. Check them out. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Whether it's a spa for the back patio, a pool table, a sauna, they got you covered. Check them out online at thespateam.com. All-wheel drive season is here at Lithia Ford of Boise. The snow, the ice, it's coming. Make sure you have a vehicle that has you ready for the conditions of Idaho. Lithia Ford of Boise. You can check them out online, lithiafordboise.com. Again, they're huge supporters of Boise State. They got 6 NIL deals. They got a lot of coaches, administrators. Return the favor, folks. There's a lot of car dealerships in town, but there's, one that puts its money where its mouth is in terms of supporting Boise State and supporting Bronco Nation news. So please head into Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out for your next car or truck purchase, and you can view that full inventory of vehicles online at lithiafordboise.com. We had a fun time at Taco Bell. great time at Taco Bell yesterday. John Mallory and I were out there at Taco Bell on Thursday, so appreciate the folks that came by and got a free breakfast. SON Management, the Nicolason family, we appreciate them. Check them out at TacoBellWorks.com if you're looking for a job. And again, the food is great too. The Cantina Bowl, Johnny was scarfing down those breakfast quesadillas yesterday. So check them out at TacoBellWorks.com. And if you're looking for a job, Transportation Compliance Service, they can help you out every step of the way to get into the trucking industry. Transcompservice.com. Again, overweight DOT. They got all the permits and things you need. Check them out at Transcompservice.com. All right, Jay, we had the Tyson Degenhart show last night. I want to wrap up talking basketball, and I got a clip I want to play here. If you need any idea how close this team is, how much this team likes each other, cares about each other, I've never seen this before. And again, we've done this show for a couple of years. We've had other athletes come on as guests on our shows. But I kid you not, we had Emmanuel Ugbo, who we now found out it is Ugbo, on the show last night. And I counted 8 different players that posted comments or questions to him in the YouTube chat. And some of them we put on air. Many of them you can go back and look at the chat. But me and Ty, I made the executive decision not to put those on screen. There were some inside jokes and things, I believe, why he was on certain floor of a certain dormitory, and they were having some fun with him for sure. And it was hilarious stuff. So I got a clip I want to play of just a compilation of some of it, and some of it was even more funny off the show because we weren't putting the questions from the chat in there. But you had, all Dylan Anderson, Javen Buchanan, RJ Keene, Moses Hips. Who else am I missing? All kind. You had Julian Bowie, all kinds of guys. Pearson Carmichael. You go down the line. It was pretty much the entire team taking shots at him in the chat and having fun. Emmanuel Ugbo making his debut last night on Bronco Nation News.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing great. We got a comment. Keen's calling you a ball hog. What do you have to say about that?
Can we get Keen out of this, please? Please.
We'll only put him on there a couple of times.
No. Take Keen out of this.
We got to limit how much Keen gets on these comments. But we got a couple questions or a couple comments. BJ didn't need to put that one up. The one from C. Brightman. How do you feel about the BSU managers?
I love them. Like
we got a comment from Carson. Ems is going to get his rep. What do you have to say about that?
Well, that's just terminology. TD uses a lot. Like Coach Duryea, he always says take your rep. So I feel like if I get the ball and I'm able to take my rep, I will always do that.
There you go. That's good. That's what you're supposed to do. If they don't double you and you can get to the top of the charge, you might as well take your rep.
Might as well.
So Peanut with a great question. We got some.
I like Ethan's costume. He was Barney this year.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like them. The boys.
Bowie, that's my guy, my twin, and that's from a song. It's called Bedrock, and he goes, "Do you like rolling with friends or romancing?" And I know that Julian loves rolling with friends.
Moses with a great question. Who is your favorite non-basketball sports team at Boise State?
I like the football team a lot, and like the football games is a lot of fun. I also like to watch, like, I have a couple friends on the beach volleyball team and the volleyball team. Like, it's fun to watch those sports, at least. So shout out to Moses in the background, by the way. But yeah.
Okay. Well, RJ is talking about getting these comments up. I think we don't have to get all of them up. We got our teammates in here a lot. We have a lot of teammates comments on here.
I'm saying, like, this is just out of hand.
Your last one for you is, why didn't you swing the walk to when the walk on Brennan was in the game?
So I apologize to B-Man. B-Man knows I apologize like at least 20 times during the game, after the game, in the locker room. Like, I'm so sorry. But if you look at the clip, when Chris swings me the ball, I didn't even turn my head. I didn't see Brennan. I just went. Because I was like, oh, okay, this guy can't guard me. So I went in and out, boom, I went, and then someone tripped me, and then they called a foul. And then later on when I watched the clip, obviously when I got home, I was like, damn, like B-Man was wide open. So I should have seen that. It was good, Lex.
Lex, what do you have to say about that? Him not swinging the rock?
We know Ems is a ball hog.
Funny, bro.
We know he's not swinging the rock, man. We know that.
it's been said in the comments. Keen said it. We had a lot of people that have said that. So,
I'm a team player. I promise.
Ams, I want to appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have you on, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
There he is, our man Emmanuel. Good way to. And again, I would say that was, there were some funny parts there, but it was, if you were watching the show live, some of the chats that they were skipping over, and you'd see him laugh, but I wouldn't put it on screen. There was they were having some fun with each other. They really like each other, and yeah, he did at the end there. Felt terrible. Brennan Ramirez, the manager turned walk on, was wide open in the corner, and you're not sure how many chances he's going to get. And he had the ball, and he could have swung it to him, and he instead drove, and he's been taking some heat for that. But it was fun last night having him on the Tyson Degenhardt show.
That looked like a lot of fun, BJ. How did anybody bring up the fact that what size arms does Ugbo have? He is huge. He could play tight end, play defensive end.
There was a question about that. Yeah, could he do both? He thinks he could.
Big dude.
Sky Ship, by the way, is saying that I should get to raise the blue chaos flag if KU knocks off BYU and opens the door. Hey, Sean,
that'd be hilarious.
We got a lot of KU guys actually. Sean Goodwin's a KU guy. We got some other folks around here, so we can maybe get a group of KU people down there. We can probably figure that out. Let's see. Ugbo's a great listen. Interesting backstory. Glad he's a Bronco. Leon Rice said in the postgame, Jay, that they were worried about him getting him eligible. I mean, and the fact that they got that done and he's eligible and he's here. I mean, he's obviously the starters are who they are. They're going to have to be the best 5 players for Boise State to do what they want to do this year. But that next group and those next 2 or 3 or 4 guys, whether it's RJ Keene, Emmanuel Ugbo, whoever the backup point guard's going to be, Buchanan, if he's coming off the bench, those are going to be some of the key guys in some of these games, probably on Sunday against Clemson.
Agree with you there. And one thing that I remember about Ugbo, man, you get there as early as anybody too, BJ. He always, last year when he couldn't play, he was always out on the court, one of the first dudes out there getting shots up or getting work in with Roberto Bergerson or something like that. So it's awesome to see that they were able to get him eligible. And I can't even remember, BJ, there was some initially the most optimistic thought was getting him eligible the semester, and then they were able to actually do it prior to the start of the season, which is great. And you look at his size, man, they could absolutely, you're totally right. They will absolutely use him at times this year. And when you go up against a team like Clemson, who is really good on the glass, this could be a game where you call on Emmanuel Ugbo for a few big possessions here.
Give us one thought on that Clemson game. Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Clemson coming in 3-0, 3 wins, as John Mallory would say, against Cream Puff U, Cupcake State. 3 easy wins. They come in, they're number 33 at KenPom. They're the higher ranked KenPom team coming into this game. Boise State is projected to win at KenPom by 2 or 3. It keeps changing based on some of the numbers. So I haven't seen a Vegas line yet, but it's going to be pretty much a 50-50 pick'em type game. Very similar to that San Francisco game where the home team was able to take advantage of the crowd and win. This will be Clemson's first road game. It's a long trip for them. The situation is ripe for Boise State to get a big win that will, help them all the way through the season. This team was in the Elite 8 last year. Their metrics are good. They're going to have a good season. But this certainly is a game at home that you really would like to have, that you almost have to have, given the remaining schedule and what you have and needing that kind of marquee non-conference win. So a lot, big game on Sunday. You mentioned the rebounding. Boise State at Clemson last year got out-rebounded by 15, just crushed on the glass. So, big opportunity on Sunday. Should be a big crowd and obviously a big game.
You get very nervous, or much more nervous, I would say, about, some of the tough road games in the Mountain West, the neutral site games against Washington State, St. Mary's. If you can't get this one, those really do kind of become must-win games for a team with very, very high expectations. And so, what an awesome opportunity. An ACC team at Extra Mile Arena. Just an awesome opportunity. And, they do return some good talent. You would argue, their best player's gone, right?
PJ Hall got drafted last year, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's any – they still got some good guys, don't get me wrong, but he was their best player and kind of the heartbeat of their team for that matter too. So, but they still return a lot of guys off that team. So this won't be easy. It would be a great victory for Leon Rice and the boys. And my only thing that I wish is that it was at like 2:00.
Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah, we're both struggling to try to get back.
11:30, man. That's kind of an early tip off on a Sunday. I know they don't have any say in it or whatever. It's probably TV, but if it was a little bit later in the day, I would like it even more.
Yep, and I think fans would feel the same way. Hopefully, folks that are going or can't go can give their tickets to somebody that will go, and they can still pack that place. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, big game. I think as let's see here, BSU Bill. The game isn't a must-win, Jay, but if you drop this, then Washington State and St. Mary's both become must.
I mean, I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah,
that's why just man. I said this about the football team, right? BJ, defend the blue. Like that's the number one thing they had to do to get back to being an elite program. Yep. And if you're an elite basketball team, as you know, with Kansas, like you have to defend your home court.
And I'll say this, like, kudos for Clemson for coming out and playing this game. That when they agreed to this home and home, there was a buyout involved, but the buyout wasn't super high, and they basically took them at their word, and they, the AD is friends, I guess, with Jeremiah Dickey, and they basically promised them that we're not going to cancel this. We want you to come to our place first. And some schools very easily could have just said, you know what, we'll pay you whatever it was, $75,000, $100,000, we're not coming, and left Boise State with a marquee opening on their schedule. And Clemson's, again, coming all the way out from South Carolina, first road game. I assume they're probably flying out today. I have no idea. But that's a long trip for them. And so, Jay, I'll keep this thing rolling for a few minutes. I know you got a lot to do. I told you we'd be short and we're long, so I apologize yet again. But safe travels. We'll see you in San Jose tomorrow. What do we got on the coverage plans? Pre-game show tomorrow, tonight? What do we got?
Real quick, what I was going to say too about that buyout, man. For that, I was really worried that this game wasn't going to happen when you initially saw that buyout. But it's awesome that Clemson did hold true to their word, and they're coming out here to play Boise State.
As BS says, it is kind of nothing. It's a quad one game, kind of nothing for them to lose.
It kind of yeah, but still, like the fact that they still want to come out here is significant. That's a long ways away from home to come out and play Boise State. But yeah, tomorrow, leave today, 3:00. I'll see you down there, BJ. We got a pregame show live from 9 to 10 a.m. tomorrow on Channel 7, and then, like we always try to do, we'll hit you back a little closer to kickoff with a little live digital show on KTVB.com, KTV Plus, to kind of just get you the latest from the field if we can. So that'll be about an hour before kickoff.
Yep, and we should be finishing up about an hour before kickoff, so hopefully folks will check us out about 2 hours from kickoff till 1 hour, and then we'll hand it off to Jay and John Mark there on the field, man. He's getting as close as he can get with some of those shots, and so you won't find better access right before the game than their little digital show. Not little, but their digital.
Little kind of a fun fact, BJ.
Yes,
I have San Jose State. Gosh, I think it's the last one. I haven't covered a football game at San Jose State.
You know what? I was actually thinking about reminiscing me and Will Hall being there for a game the day after Thanksgiving one year. I had to have my Thanksgiving meal at a Chinese buffet in San Jose one year because I went down on Thanksgiving night by myself. Interesting. Okay. What you need to do we got to peek into the event auditorium or whatever the basketball arena is called. You need to just peek in there just so you can see it. So when they play there, like in a month or whatever, you'll have an idea of what you're looking at. Maybe they'll let you in for a tour or something. That you need to get into the basketball arena. I mean, it's a C of I gym. I mean, the door's probably open. That needs to be on your mission to try to get in there and see that. But football. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to. It's even different than I've been there last because they've taken out those seats and things. I remember last time something happened. Was it Blameyer? Was Blameyer still there? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Blameyer was there for a while, but I remember there was some kind of Harsin. I don't know if it was something going on. I forget what it was, but there was a big kind of, got to get the photo of them talking. I forget who it was, but all right, man. I'm sure you've had this one circled for years. Wait to get there.
Circled.
We'll see you
down.
down.
Want to knock off the list. Sounds good, buddy.
9 a.m. Jay said they'll have their live hour-long pregame show, and then you can hear them again hour before kickoff. They'll have their show on the field. They're getting you set for kickoff. We'll be live, I think, about 2 hours before kickoff. So we'll go 2 hours to 1 hour, and they'll go 1 hour up until kickoff. So, again, 2 hours before kickoff. That'll be about 3:00 Mountain Time. Get ready tomorrow for our pregame coverage beginning. And looking forward to, again, getting down there to San Jose. Hey, Ashton Genty gear, if you need some Ashton Genty gear, check it out, theblueandorangestore.com. They got you covered. Theblueandorangestore.com. Brand new Ashton Genty gear. They got 2 racks right up there in the front, all kinds of stuff. And again, a portion of the money goes back to Ashton Genty himself. So support Ashton Genty as he makes the final stretch here of his Boise State career. And you can do that at the Blue and Orange Store and theblueandorangestore.com. We'll see Monday if Ahmed Hassanin can get that sack, coffee or fountain drink, 91 cents. If he gets a sack on Saturday, you get a discounted drink on Monday. And maybe this will be the week Breezy Dubar gets his way back into the end zone. The Breezy Bundle on Tuesdays after Breezy Dubar scores a touchdown. You get, listen to this, a hot dog and a soda for $1. That's right. You got to use your Let's Go Rewards account, but $1 hot dog and soda, the Breezy Bundle. And I think last time they even threw in like free Snickers bars or bananas. They threw a whole meal in there last time. So check it out again. Soda and hot dog for $1 at Jackson's. And again, 25%. And there I go saying again, 25 cents sold from 25 cents from every hot dog goes to support the Horseshoe Collective, helping give money back to the student athletes at Boise State. So pick up a hot dog at Jackson's and you're helping the student athletes at Boise State in the process. Speaking of food, leanfeastmeridian.com had one earlier today. Love Lean Feast, 10,000 plus combinations. I saw Andrew Meadow walking out of basketball practice yesterday with 2 Lean Feasts. So leanfeastmeridian.com. They're feeding the football team. They're feeding the basketball team. Again, folks, this is, one of the fastest rising, restaurants, meal prep services, whatever you want to call it, in the Treasure Valley, and they are literally feeding your favorite athletes on a daily basis. So check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. Very affordable. It's cheaper than going to Chipotle or something, and it's healthier and it's better. And again, it's fully customizable. You pick how much of everything you want. It's all done by the weight, and then it's good for 5 days in your refrigerator. You pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're eating surf and turf for lunch. They have a lot of great different options for different diets. And again, they now deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. So make sure you check that out at leanfeastmeridian.com. And don't forget, final call for our man, Alex Martin. How about Cam Martin the other day? He had like 20 rebounds in the G League game. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Huge debut, huge start for Cam Martin in the G League. Great sign to see him healthy and playing well. And I think he had like 20 rebounds. Alex Martin, 208 Lawn and Landscape. Check them out, 208lawnandlandscape.com. There's another phone number on that website. You can also use this one, 417-629-6832. Sprinkler blowouts, any fall landscaping projects, leaf raking, cleaning, removing, snow removal, anything you got. And again, they also rent out bounce houses. So if you got a birthday party or a church function or something popping up, you can rent them from him as well. Alex Martin, 208 Lawn and Landscape, 208lawnandlandscape.com. And seeing if there's any final comments on the chat here. We will have a pregame show live tomorrow. We're going to say 3 o'clock Mountain Time. 3 o'clock Mountain Time is the anticipated start time, hopefully, for the pregame show. I got to talk to them and see what the situation is with the just the whole setup over there. We may end up doing it later in the morning. We'll keep you updated. But our hope is 3 o'clock. So make plans for 3 o'clock tomorrow, live from San Jose for the pregame show. We'll be back live on the postgame show with interviews, thoughts, comments, all kinds of stuff on the postgame show. And then we will hurry back to Boise and try to get back in time for that Clemson game as early as we can. A huge weekend for Boise State sports. Football team, it's just win, survive, and advance. I tend to think they're going to have a really nice win, a nice style points type win. I really do. I think this might be the game that it just kind of pops for them again. A lot of people worried about San Jose, all this stuff, and then it's like, okay, let's remember here. This is no disrespect intended, but this is San Jose State. This is Boise State. This is a game I think Boise State, if they can get locked back in after the Nevada game, which I think they will be locked back in after that Nevada game, I feel really good about Boise State going down and playing well tomorrow. But been wrong plenty of times before. We'll see. But again, Nick Nash, front runner for the Bolitnikoff Award. I get it. Yes, great receiver. By the way, Tyler Stockton, jokingly referred to him as Seabiscuit. Our friend Jordan Kay reminding us that Seabiscuit did not actually win the Triple Crown. That was Secretariat. So the semantics, I guess. But the point is, leading the nation in receptions, touchdowns, yards, having statistically the best year of any wide receiver in the country. I mean, Spencer Danielson said, it's not me saying it, it's the stats. He is the best receiver in the country. Like, it's not as my opinion, it's fact. So big challenge for Boise State, whether it's Benefield or whoever else is going to be guarding them. It's going to be very Very tough challenge. Their passing attack as a whole ranks number 6, I believe, number 5 in the country. So it is going to be a challenge. But I believe Boise State is, after the game against Nevada and just struggling a little bit, I believe Boise State is ready to bounce back in a big way. And I expect Boise State to play really well tomorrow. So we'll get into some more of the keys to the game, breaking some of these numbers down tomorrow on the pregame show. We'll hear from Spencer Danielson and Tyler Stockton talking about this matchup on Thursday. I have specifically not posted them to the YouTube channel yet because I was going to play them on the pregame show, but I may put those up this afternoon anyway. So, again, appreciate all you guys. We're going to get packed and get some stuff done, get another story done, and get ready to head down to San Jose for the game tomorrow. So again, 3:00, the pregame show. Again, sorry, someone emailed me, said I say again too much, and I'm working on it, but obviously not good enough. So the pregame show will be at 3:00, game at 5, and then we'll have a full postgame show with interviews and thoughts after the game as well. So make Bronco Nation News a part of your game day routine each and every day. Pregame for football, pregame for basketball, postgame for football and basketball. And again, the easiest way to know when we go live, if we don't go live at the exact time we say, or we need to start early or whatever, on the YouTube channel, you can turn on your notifications and get notified when we go live. So turn on your notifications and, go, then, when we go live, you'll know, and you can click on it and go live with us as well. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And again, excited for a big weekend for Boise State sports. Maybe for my birthday present, you can all subscribe to Bronco Nation News. $50. Use that promo code BNN50 deal. If you're on the fence about it, maybe you can help me out on my birthday and subscribe today. BNN50 deal. And if any of you do subscribe today because it's my birthday, maybe we'll try to throw a gift card or something your way. Send me an email or I'll check it out and see. But a lot of great coverage coming as the football team pushes towards the playoff. Basketball team, we got Mike Prater's columns. We got a cool announcement coming on Monday about adding to the team a little bit as well. So we got a lot of stuff in the works here at Bronco Nation News, and now's the perfect time to jump in with a subscription. $50 for the full year. BNN50 deal is that promo code. Gets you $20 off your first year. And again, the private jet trip is back. I know a lot of you are set to renew here over the next month or so. And we are doing the private jet trip for 2 for any active subscribers. So if you go ahead and purchase a subscription today, that automatically enters you into our VIP basketball experience. We're still working on the details for that. But we're going to take 2 lucky winners to a road basketball game this year and give you a VIP basketball experience and have you sit right behind the bench and have a good time. So more details on that to come, but you got to be a paying subscriber. So if you're on the fence, now's the perfect time. Mike Prater's columns, my stuff, what we got coming next week. We got a lot of exclusive content behind the paywall. And like I said, fun time of year to be a Boise State fan. So appreciate you guys once again. Maybe this will be the I'm rooting for it to happen. Hopefully it does. Can help Boise State in the process. And we're ready to go. Gonna help out Boise State if Kansas can get a big win. Help you guys out. We'll do our part. And appreciate you guys. Rock chalk. And we'll talk to you from San Jose. Go subscribe if you can. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.